Hey everyone, I'm Linda. Welcome to Lilybugs Library and Happy New Year. So I am just coming in as the 1st of January or near the 1st of January with my January TBR. So a little late on that, but that's okay. And I know a lot of people say it's a pile of possibilities these days. I think mine's always been a pile of possibilities. I just kind of I start out with the ones I want to read. Sometimes they all get read. Sometimes I drift off into other things, but that's the way life is. So let's talk about what I have planned to read for January. So the first one is, and quite a few of these I think are actually new to me series. So I'm hoping to start the month off strong, start the year off strong. So the first one is the first of the mail order bride cozy mystery romances, and this is called The Bridal Train Murder. And it says in 1884 Pittsburgh, when Betty Muller's parents die untimely deaths due to the heartlessness of their employers, Betty is forced to take their place on the factory line or run away. She flees to find help from Mrs. Molly White, proprietor of the Cozy Bridal Agency. Amateur sleuth and champion of the underdog, Molly organizes for Betty to marry a fine man on the frontier. So off she goes to the frontier. And I'm going to leave it there. We'll just see what happens. And I'm going into these, other than what I read you, I'm going into them relatively blind. So we'll see how that goes. The next one is called The Inn at Penglis Cove. And it says it's a brand new, beautifully atmospheric, and utterly spellbinding historical mystery of forbidden love and haunting secrets set in a crumbling inn on the wild Cornish coast. So I think that sounds amazing already because I love anything that's on the Cornish coast and, kind of tumble down inn and things. That sounds great. So it says when Juno's marriage implodes, an unexpected inheritance offers her a way out. A crumbling inn perched high on a Cornish cliff, left to her by a great aunt she never knew. Hoping to give her children a fresh start, Juno swaps city life for windswept coastal walks and salty sea air, only to find that the Cross Keys Inn is steeped in secrets. So I can't wait to read that one. That one sounds really good. Now, this one I've already started for my online book club. And this one is the first in a series, and it's called Murder at the 42nd Street Library. And so it introduces librarian and reluctant sleuth Raymond Ambler. He's a curious fellow who uncovers murderous secrets hidden behind the majestic marble facade of New York City's 42nd Street Library. So there has been a murder at the library, and so Ambler is trying to figure out why this person was killed and who is involved. So it's so far been very good. So the next one is from a Canadian author that I really enjoy, Genevieve Graham, and this one is called Tides of Honor. And it's 1916, and the last thing Nova Scotian soldier Danny Baker expects to find in war-torn France is the love of his life. Audrey Poulin is alone in the world and struggling to survive the war in the French countryside. When Audrey and Danny meet and fall in love, it seems like the best version of fate. But love is only the beginning, as Danny loses a leg in the Battle of the Somme and returns home to Halifax with Audrey, only to discover that he's unable to leave the war behind. So that one sounds really good and probably a tearjerker too. The next one, actually, there's a couple on the list I've already finished. So, I started them pretty much at the end of December. So I've already finished them, but I'm going to put them in here anyway, just because they were on this list. So one was Partners in Lime, and it's the sixth book of the Seaside Cafe mystery series. And Everly Swan is trying to enjoy Charm's annual outdoor play, but when a surfer rolls into town and then turns up dead, and Everly's EMT friend Matt is the prime suspect, things get dicey. I'm not going to say anything about it. I will do another video that talks about, what I've read recently. The only thing I will say is Wow. So the next one I've also just finished. So this one is My Friends by Frederick Bachman. Bachman. I always get that confused in my head. But anyway, Bachman, I think it is. So it says most people don't even notice them. Three tiny figures sitting at the end of a long pier in the corner of the one of the most famous paintings in the world. Most people think it's just a depiction of the sea, but Louisa, an aspiring artist herself, knows otherwise, and she's determined to find out the story of these three enigmatic figures. So we'll talk about that one as well. So the next one is The Path of the Crooked by Ellery Adams. And again, it's the first in a series. And it's the Hope Street Church mystery series. And it says, Welcome to Hope Street Church, where friendships are formed, fresh starts are encouraged, and mysteries are solved. Cooper Lee was at a crossroads. Her boyfriend of 5 years had just left her for another woman. She was living in an apartment above her parents' garage, and her job as a copier repair person was feeling a little, well, repetitious. Hoping for a fresh start and a new outlook on life, she joins the Bible study group at Hope Street Church. The last thing she expects while studying the Bible is a lesson in murder. So I'm looking forward to that one too. So a lot of these series that I'm planning on starting this year are really, I don't know, I'm really hoping that they turn out to be as good as what I think they will. And then this one, you've heard me talk about a few times. I'm going to actually get it off my shelf and read it. And this one is The Miniaturist. And it says, set in 17th century Amsterdam, a city ruled by glittering wealth and oppressive religion, a masterful debut steeped in atmosphere and shimmering with mystery. And it says, on a brisk autumn day in 1686, 18-year-old Nella Ortman arrives in Amsterdam to begin a new life as the wife of illustrious merchant trader Johannes Brandt. But her new home, while splendorous, is not welcoming. Johann is kind, yet distant, always locked in his study or at his warehouse office, leaving Nella alone with his sister, the sharp-tongued and forbidding Maren. But Nella's world changes when Johann presents her with an extraordinary wedding gift, a cabinet-sized replica of their home. To furnish her gift, Nels engages the services of a miniaturist, an elusive and enigmatic artist whose tiny creations mirror their real-life counterparts in eerie and unexpected ways. So I think all of them sound great. Now, there's only not very many on the list for January. I think I put 8 on the list, and I've already read 2 of them, and I'm halfway through the third. So, but that's okay because now that I'm, working again, and by the time work finishes with other things I want to do, I don't have a ton of time to read. So I've been thinking about my Goodreads challenge because I always do the book challenge on Goodreads. Now, last year I read 180 books, which, that's because I wasn't working for a lot of the year. I was home and, you know, not feeling well and, all of those things and trying to get the fibromyalgia under control. And so, yeah, it was not, there wasn't a lot I could do besides read. So, as much as I enjoy reading, I don't know as this year is going to hit anywhere close to that. So now I'm trying to decide what number do I think is a good number. I don't know. And this year I'm hoping really to kind of change things up and read some more classic, read some more nonfiction, read some fantasy, some things that I wouldn't ordinarily read, and not, I guess, be so safe in the things that I read, even though I enjoy them. I want to branch out a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. But it might also mean chunkier books or books that are a little harder to read. So if that's the case, then it also might slow things down. I don't know. We'll see. But, there's a lot of, goals that I'm trying to accomplish this year. So we'll see how it goes. Otherwise, that's about what's going on here. We are currently watching Culinary Class Wars on Netflix, season 2, which we really enjoy. Matter of fact, we got Netflix back just so we could watch that. So, but we have found a few other things on Netflix that, we're enjoying as well. We just finished last year's great Great Pottery Throwdown. I had to think of the name of it. The Great British Pottery Throwdown, or I don't know, something like that. And apparently, in the next few days, the new season is coming out. So we'll be watching that. And we have a couple of other things that are coming out soon. The Pit is due for the next season very soon, which is a hospital drama. Really enjoy that. And although it's a maybe a guilty pleasure, the Beast Games is coming out for its next season, and I kind of enjoyed that last year, so we're going to watch that too, I expect. So, and that's what we're watching. What we're reading is The Coin, which was written by a friend of ours. So we're reading that, and it's about Oak Island. I'm also reading, The Murder at the 42nd Street Library, which we talked about, and something else that I can't remember. And then listening to I've been listening to a few audiobooks, just on and off, but I kind of end up putting them in with what I'm reading because to me it all kind of works out the same. So I can't really think of anything in particular that I'm listening to. I mean, for a while it was Christmas music, so now that Christmas is done, we'll see what captures my attention. There's a lot of really good podcasts out there, so maybe I'll start listening to one of those. We'll see. So that is what's happening here. And I hope everybody had a great New Year's Day and that you have, if not resolutions, that you at least have some thoughts and plans for how you'd like the year to turn out. And I hope that you're blessed to have them turn out that way. And I hope you have a great day. So enjoy your weekend, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.